You kind of answered it on the last part, but let's kind of touch on, because you talked a little bit about family, but what does, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, so what does a day in the life of an ambassador diamond look like?
Well, I would think it looks really similar to anybody else, a day in the life of anybody else who's working their business. I don't do things a lot different than, say, a diamond or a ruby or somebody that's trying to go executive, because all of my things that I'm doing are working towards completing my steps to success every month and leading from the front. I want to show people exactly what I'm doing. So for me, social media is my thing. Like, it's how I've built my business. It's how I love building my business. It excites me. I like making friendships on social media. I know we're not face to face, but it's like my niche. So I make sure that I'm very consistent on that. When I wake up in the morning, I like to check my Facebook, make a post, answer a message, whatever it is. And then I'm a mom, we get up and we get ready for school. And sometimes things are really crazy and chaotic. And the other day I told my husband, what is going on? Like, I look like Joe Dirt's wife. I mean, it was crazy, So I think a lot of people sometimes think, an ambassador diamond or a black diamond, their life is probably this perfection, like if you guys want to see the mound of perfected, unfolded laundry on my bed right now, it's pretty interesting. But you do what you do. And that's when you kind of talk about the comparison thing too, because, other people that aren't at these ranks yet are comparing themselves to something they don't even know. I mean, you guys don't even know what the day looks like for an ambassador, and you're comparing and thinking, what am I not doing, or what am I doing wrong? But you're not, we're all doing the same thing. So consistency, social media, following up with people. I love Follow Up Friday. It's something that someone on my team is like so passionate about. Follow Up Friday is her thing. But for me, I'm like an in the moment kind of person. So I'm keeping track of when the last time it was I followed up with somebody, when the last time it was I interacted with somebody. So if I need to get back with them on like a Tuesday, I'm going to. That's just what I do. If I'm in the moment, I'm going to do it. And that's literally how I live. I do my days. I just go by what I'm feeling. And of course, we all have those income producing activities, right, that we're doing every single day. But I do it by the way that I'm feeling. And so, obviously, like we talked about, consistency, follow up. I think those are the best things that you can do every day for yourself. And don't just think that you need to be posting, strictly business things all day long. Like, consistency is you making sure that you're being you and putting yourself out there. So if James and I are taking the kids to school, well, one of us should take a picture of it, post it, right? Because we want to make sure that we're present and in front of people and they know what we're doing, that it's not just all about a business. So remember that consistency in your business and on social media is also you being you and living your life out loud. Social media is like a highlight reel, basically, right? But we want to make sure that we're staying in front of people, and that's pretty much, the key to your success. And then team call nights, those nights, I never, ever, ever miss a team call. I was on tonight. I'm on every single Sunday night. I'm on every single Show Me the Money call. When I've been in, those kind of ruts in your business, or if you're feeling down, the Show Me the Money calls are what brought me out of those. When I had that first one that hit me when I was a double diamond, the Show Me the Money calls pulled me out, because that every single Monday night you can turn on that call, and whatever is said on that call, you're usually going to feel like they're speaking to you. It's like one of those magical things. But you get to hear things that fill you up, and somebody might say something and you're like, gosh, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. And then they're like, I was able to get up and do this 2 months later. And you're like, what? Like, I can actually do that? But you have to make sure that you're plugging in. So being consistent, staying plugged in, get on your team pages. That's another thing. We have a shared team page, my mom and I, so it's both of our ambassador leaders. Everybody is on one page, working together as a whole. So, me being on there, making sure that I'm posting something every day for my team is not necessary because we all work together. But making sure that I am present on that page is necessary. And I think that that's something that everybody can do no matter what your rank is, because you want to show up, right? You want to be part of something. You need to be checking in and making sure that you're present. So that's another thing that I do on a daily basis. And then self-development is huge. My husband and I are just committing to making sure that every night before bed, we're going to be reading again. And that's something that just really fuels me. And I feel like it gives me direction. Like it gives me direction for where my dreams are going to go that night. And then it gives me direction for where I'm going to get up, get out of bed and go that day. So that's super important. That's another thing that I do every day. And then I'm just a mom every day, you know?
Okay, you guys. So our favorite book of the team right now, Get Over Your Damn Self. Where do you guys think I got that from? Brianna's post. The day that you posted that book, Bri, I bought it and I just started reading it and I was like, oh, I'll share it with the team as soon as I start liking it, you know, and you can ask every single person on this Zoom, like they got every page, every chapter, everything. And I think half of our team has read it now. So thank you for posting it because that's a book that like was a game changer for me. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm reading that one again right now.
You what?
I'm reading that one again right now. I have this terrible thing of not actually finishing books, but I like to go back to them and reread. And again, rereading it the second time, I still find myself, I'll get through like a page and a half, and then I have my phone out and I'm like taking pictures of the pages, like they said, because it's so good. Yeah.
I know, I wanted to pass it on, then I was like, wait, no, I have all my notes, I have all these highlights, I just need to buy it for the next person. So I love it. It's such a good book. So something that I want to recap really quick before I go on to the next question is, did everybody hear that Bri does probably a lot of the stuff that every single one of us does, right? And she's no different. You know, she's a mom, she's a wife, and she's a business owner. And so she gets in her time in those areas, but she's not neglecting one area or the other. And I think that's something that we forget is that, you know, I know, and a lot of our team knows this, but I, at the very beginning, you know, worked 24/7 because that's what I thought you had to do, you know? And I love that you shared that you're an ambassador diamond and you get up and you do a little bit, then you help your kids, and then you and your husband have your time, and then you get a little bit more work in, and it's just when it's, you know, in the moment for you. And I think sometimes we forget that we just do it when it's best for us, not for somebody else, not for your mom, you know, for you, and sticking to that schedule that works for us. And I love how your follow-up, because that's how I am too. Just as sporadic, just follow up, just do it. And that works for you. And so I think sometimes, like, I know for me, when I was going presidential, I was stuck in that comparison trap. So I love that you said that you just do you and keep doing you and stay consistent. So I'm going to tie in this kind of next question with this one. And so how do you stay motivated day to day?
For me, it's the book reading gets me. Watching videos. Cammie is a huge fan of Stephen Furtick. I'm always afraid I'm going to say that wrong. But he's the pastor guy. Do you guys know Elevation Church? Yeah. So he's another one that I can go to his page and I know that there's always going to be videos recorded on there that I can watch. And I actually have my notifications on so that when he goes live, I get a notification. And it just seems to work out every day that it's like when I take the kids to school, come home, and I do my shower, and then he's live. And so I can put it there, you know, while I'm doing my hair, my makeup, whatever, and listen to what he has to say. Because although he's not talking to me about It Works and how to build my It Works business, he's talking about how I can fuel myself, right? And he's been doing this thing about the, I think 7 mile, what's it called? 7 mile journey or something. I can't remember for sure. But you know, it's like, it's talking about improving yourself and the things that you can do. And that's so important for you, because a lot of times people think, you know, if my head's not in a good place, I need to do everything I can to just like drown myself in It Works stuff. And that's not really the answer. Like, you are the answer, because you're the one that is going to facilitate this, right? Like, you have to take your business somewhere. It's you that has to take you somewhere. So making sure that you're filled up. I also am just a lover of music. So I can come in and I can turn on my favorite songs. Right now it's Carrie Job, or I turn on the Hillsong Pandora, but I can literally turn it on, sing and dance like a crazy person around the kitchen, and I feel like a new woman, you know, like I'm like, yes, I'm refocused, I'm energized, I feel good. But don't forget to be who you are. You know, you have to make sure that you're feeling good and that you're happy, because you didn't really start this business because you were looking for, you know, like a boss and a full-time job to go report to every day. You started this because you probably wanted to work from home, or you're an at-home mom and you wanted to bring in income, or you needed to bring in, you know, extra money on the side and you wanted to have fun with it. So don't forget to have fun with it. And, you know, that's the other thing. In your normal day, make sure that you're still having fun and you're still doing things, and you're not just sitting on the couch or your bed or your desk or in the kitchen, just, you know, looking at your steps to success thinking, oh my gosh, like, when am I going to fill it in? Who's it going to be? Like, I don't even have any potentials, or, stressing yourself out, because that's not fun and that's not going to take your business somewhere. So go take a walk, go listen to music, go listen to Steven, like do something that's going to fuel you so that you feel motivated and happy again. Those are my best tips for you. I don't know. Like, I'm just a musical kind of person. If I can dance around, I feel good. Like I'm going to go do something,
Yeah, no, that was great. I love that. Just get up and move and get out of the situation. So I love that. So I'm going to tie in the next two. Bree, you can kind of tell me how you want to do it. But, or actually, no, I'll do this one first. So when you're taking action and you're doing your IPAs, your income producing activities, you know what you're supposed to be doing as far as messaging, staying consistent, following up, but you're just not getting people locked in. Where do you go from there?
Forward. Like, even if you have a list of, 30 potentials, whatever it is that you're following up with, like, that was me when I was going ambassador. I had my chart blown up on the wall and it was laminated, and I literally wrote all of my potential distributors and customers on this chart so that I saw it every single day, like all these names. And it was a long list, but you know what? Like, the fact is that all of those names weren't checked off when I went ambassador, because I went out and I found more. I continued working harder. And, I'm a social media girl. So I was present in those groups and interacting with people and adding new friends. But you can't you can't be stuck on just the list that you see written out every day, or just those names that are in your inbox that you want them so badly to be a customer. You want them so badly to join your team, but you have to be able to move on, because you didn't join this business just to sign those specific people, right? Like, there's so many people out there that could use this opportunity or that could use these products. So don't limit yourself. Remember that the sky is the limit with this business. So keep going. There's so many more people out there that you can continue adding to your list. Just don't get stuck. Don't focus on that.
I love that. You didn't sign this business for those certain potentials. Mic drop. All right. The next one is, okay, so I'm going to tie these two in together. Okay. So, what would you think it takes to take yourself and your team to the next level, but also still working alongside of them and not getting into that management mode as you're signing distributors and as you're signing leaders and as you're moving up in the ranks?
I feel like that can kind of be a tricky one. And back when I had my first dip in my business, I learned a strong lesson from that, because I felt like those people were the people that were going to go with me all the way. I wanted them to go with me all the way to the top, but it's just, you can't control that, like, you can't control what people are going to do in this business. So as I moved on from that, and as I do now, because I have great leaders on my team, and sometimes I feel like I would love nothing more than to be like this with all of them, like, we have to do coffee together. Let's do this Zoom together. Can we do this together? But you have to kind of let them go. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I'll laugh and say, I'm so excited for new leaders to come into my business. And I'm not saying I'm looking for new people because I'm tired of the old people, but what's happened is my babies have like grown up, like, they don't need me anymore. I feel like what they need from me is a friend. And that's truly how I treat my leaders. Like, we do talk about business and we do get on team Zooms together and collaborate, but more what we do is friendship, because we started this business because there was like, it was a business thing, and then it became a friendship tie. And then I wanted this so badly for them, because I knew that it happened to me and it could happen for them. And now they're living this life that I saw them living. And so it's like, you have to kind of cut the ties a little bit, let them grow up, let them do their own thing. I had to learn the hard way on a few things, like my mom, talk about the comparison trap. She went ambassador in 8 months. It took me 4 years, so after I hit my 8-month mark, I could have been like, well, this sucks. Like, I'm still a double diamond, and she went ambassador and she hit the Millionaires Club in like her first year or whatever. I still haven't hit the Millionaires Club, and I've been in this for 5 years. So I can compare myself to her, or I could just move on and keep going. Right. But yeah, that just totally made me lose thought of where I was going with that. But, let your leaders be, let them learn things on their own. Like, my mom probably could have steered me in a little bit of a different way so that I didn't go through some of those, the ups and downs that I experienced, but I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't experience those. And I experienced those because I made choices myself. There's been more times throughout the whole 5 years of this business that I've chose to do things the way that I wanted to do them, whether she wanted me to or not. But no matter what, I came out stronger. So even if they kind of want to do something that you're not sure is going to be the best choice for them, let them try it, because their journey is their journey, your journey is yours, and our job is to truly just lead them. We're just here to inspire them and truly show them the way. So I think that's the best thing you can do. Just, have your relationship with them so they feel comfortable with you, for sure, but don't push them in places. I know that even with my mom, she's my mom, but even if she wasn't my mom, if she came in and told me, well, what are you doing? Or you should be doing this, or maybe you should try this. We kind of just had that happen while she was out here visiting. Well, you need to be out doing this, and you need to be having wrap parties, and well, why aren't you? And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that, and I had an aha moment, and I realized I don't have to do anything that other leaders are doing, right? Because we're all different and we can all grow differently in this business. So if you feel you want to go a specific way because that's who you are, then just go that way and try new things. And after she and I had that conversation of, I totally realized that we are so much alike, but in this business, we are also so different. We did a live wrap party together. And after we finished it, I was like, that was so great. But you know what I realized? We're super different. She's kind of talking to a different crowd. She was talking about selling her wraps and having wrap cash and what she would do with it. And I'm like, I would say, well, that one wrap sold could get you a jumbo box of Pampers diapers for your baby. And she was like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that. But it's because she doesn't have little kids at home. We're all grown up, So it's okay to encourage your team and show them what you're doing, but you don't have to tell them what to do. It's like your mom. If your mom tells you what to do, you're probably not going to do it. You might do the opposite. So we can just encourage them and kind of, show them, and they can pick up what they want to do and try themselves too.
I love that. Number one, our leadership message is blowing up right now. So I'll tell you that. They're all like, this is so good. So I'm not sure how I want to get this across, or how I want to say this, or if I'm even going to make sense. But as you were talking, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, so, as you're talking about, when you're a leader, you're still leading from the front, you're still working with your team, you're still leading by example, you're still doing the day by day with your team. But what if somebody just, they just don't step up? They just don't know how to, or maybe don't, they're in that role and they're in that position. They're like, oh my gosh, they're charted for Ruby. Okay, now they're charted for Emerald. Oh crap, now they're Diamond. And they're just like, what do I do? And you're like, Brie, you got to step up. How do you do that with your leaders? Because I know we have so many rock stars that are moving so quickly on our team, and we're just trying to wrap our brains around, okay, now you're a leader, but how do you adjust to that role? As I know sometimes it's uncomfortable, and I know sometimes it's like you were saying, you don't necessarily want to tell them what to do. You want to encourage them, but how do you kind of step into that leadership role?
I kind of like to ask them the uncomfortable questions. And yes, that can be uncomfortable, especially for me, because I am super yellow. So I don't like to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I don't like weird situations. I never want to hurt anybody's feelings. It really bothers me. But over the last couple weeks, especially, I have some of those people that they're like, they know, they see the vision. They know how network marketing works. They know exactly what they should be doing every single day, so that they should be signing customers and they should be signing distributors, but somewhere something is missing. And so asking them those tough questions has been really helpful, asking them, you get this business, you definitely get it. You can tell me all about it, and where you're going, and exactly where this is going to take you. And that it's not going to be easy and that it can be tough, but what are you doing? What's missing? Or why are you not asking people? So-and-so is so great. Or, if they're promoting, I'm going to do this and this is going to be great, but they're not quite completing their steps or something. So you have to kind of ask them those questions. And then when you're asking them a question, you're not telling them what to do, and you're not pointing something out. And then the other thing that my mom is actually a huge fan of is the sandwich effect. So one thing that they're doing really great, you get into the meaty kind of tough part, offer them, some suggestions and guidance, ask those tough questions, and then you follow up with another something that they're doing really great. And it's good for not just that person, but you too, because then you're looking for all the good. And then you're looking for, okay, there could be improvement here. And then you're going to follow up with more good that you found about this person. And it works really well. And it makes it a little smoother, not so uncomfortable, but sometimes you do have to ask the uncomfortable questions. But in this business, you have such an opportunity to make an insane amount of money. I mean, even $2,000 from home, that's an insane amount of money. Like, you're doing that from home from your phone. So if someone needs to ask you some tough questions to kind of pull you out, it's okay to do, for what you're doing. It's okay. They need you.
I love that. I love that sandwich effect, because then we're not so much being a boss. We're just saying, hey, you're good at this, but, and then this. I love that. Just going the good, the, suggestion, and then back to the good. So, yeah. So good. Okay. So my last question that I have, and if anybody has any questions or any aha moments or anything, feel free to put them in the chat, guys, and we'll get to them here in just a second. But my last one is, so what you need to do, and you're doing it, and then say you're getting through your IPAs throughout the week, and then say it's like Wednesday, and you get caught up in a distraction. And then before you know it, it's Saturday, and you haven't done anything Thursday and Friday, and you're like, oh crap, it's Saturday, probably need to post or, get back to my messaging. How do you get yourself kind of refocused, or do you kind of have a method to stay on track every single day to stay consistent throughout your week?
I don't stay consistent every single day because things get distracting. I mean, it could be something so simple as you getting sucked into your Facebook feed and just scrolling, and then 2 hours later you're like, oh, oops, like, what did I just do? I don't know, but it's already time for me to go get the kids, and I got nothing accomplished. It happens to all of us. So don't beat yourself up, but being able to recognize those things and saying, whoa, like, I need to put that down for a minute and go focus on what I need to do. I just even had that moment the other day. It was like when my mom was here again, and she said, wow, honey, your office is so nice. You should come in here and shut the door. And I was like, oh, you're probably really right. If you can take that time for yourself, even if it's kids go to bed, you don't even have an office, that's okay, but find a place where you can truly focus. Because if you've not been focusing and you've been distracted for the last 3 days, you can totally make up for that in one day if you're focused. I mean, you can take an hour out of your night to truly be focused, and you can follow up with so many people and sign so many customers. I did it just the other day. On our team, we have these power hours where one of the leaders will create a Zoom like this, and everybody will jump on it. And for that hour, it's just a power hour. Like, we're all working together. We can chat a little bit if we want to, but we're busy. We're focused. I did that, and I signed 2 loyal customers right there in that hour, whereas I could have still been beating myself up and gone about my normal business, cooking dinner. But instead, I decided to sit down and actually focus for that hour and decide this is all I'm going to do. You can pick it back up. Don't beat yourself up. We all have busy lives. We all have things that happen. Most of us are probably here in Washington State. I don't know how different your weather is over where you guys are, but I know over here it's really gray and it's really, really rainy. And my backyard is like a lake, and it can be depressing. And when my mom was coming on, I'm like, Mom, it's just so miserable. And she was here, and I kept telling her, it's so not motivating. I'm like, I can wake up in the morning feeling great, and I get in the shower and I'm like singing my music, and then I get out and I see the window and it's gray, and I'm like, I just don't want to do anything. It's normal. We're people working this business, but you have to be able to recognize, Kate, this isn't going very well. I should get up and try to do something. So James and I would be like, you know what, when we get the kids from school today, let's take them to the little bouncy house place where we can take them there. They can let all their energy out. We're going to be in a place, not just sitting, looking at the gray weather, and bring my computer and get some work done over an hour. And it's, that was another really beneficial thing that we decided to do, but it's just recognizing. I recognized last week that with all the gray weather and everything, I was deciding to just sit down at night and watch TV, and I was just watching The Bachelor, and then I'd go to bed and I'd be so tired. I'd fall asleep on my phone, but it wasn't working. But I recognize, no, like what I need to be doing is reading my self-development book at night. That's what I need to be doing. And so I started doing that again over the last couple nights. And it's like 2 pages in. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Like I'm taking notes, I'm taking screenshots. But recognizing that you're not on track. It happens to all of us. Don't beat yourself up. Don't compare yourself to other people because, yes, even people at the top have those things happen, but just recognize it and pull yourself out. And if you recognize your team doing that, then just get in front of them more. Make a post on your team page and say that you were just going through that and you just pulled yourself out because somebody else probably needs to hear that same thing. And I just did that the other day and people are like, oh my gosh, like I feel so better right now because I'm not alone. And just realize that you're not alone in this business and we're all really people. So just get up and go.
I love that. Recognizing it, changing it, and do something about it. Okay, so an aha moment too that, I have every single time is that, we don't work this business 80 hours a week. We don't even work it 50 hours a week. I mean, if you are, I'm not doing that, right? And I love that how you said that, Bree, is that, even if we get unfocused or even if we aren't consistent, I know I've had this chat with some of my leaders that they're like, gosh, dang it, it's 8 o'clock at night. I haven't done anything. And I'm like, me either. And I have to sit down and get to work. But the thing that I love is that the residual income of this business is, like you said, if you're just intentional and you're focused for just a little bit of time every single day, or like you were saying, for that 1 hour, so much can be done and happen in that 1 hour. And I had an aha moment today as I was sitting down with this girl in a one-on-one and she's like, I work full time and I work 70 hours a week. And I'm like, hey, I did too when I first got started. She goes, but I have 7 hours a week to work this business. And I'm like, girl, you have no idea what an hour a day can do. So exactly like you were just saying, being intentional with that little bit of time, and it goes a long way. Because I'm the same way, Brie. I'll be like, when Nixon goes to preschool Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11:25, I'm like, oh, great. I have 2.5 hours. I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to work. And then it's 10:15 and I'm like, crap, I haven't even sent a message. And then it's 10:30 and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get my drink. And then I'll say hi to somebody. I'm like, then, okay, now it's 10:40 and I haven't even done anything. So I love that you said that. Just plan ahead, get refocused, and recognize that, hey, you're scrolling, you're not working, you're not making money. So get to it. This Zoom was incredible. And I think it was just like you were saying, just a lot of people needed to hear it tonight. And so I appreciate you pouring your time and wisdom and knowledge into our team. And everyone's chats are blowing up right now. I love it. Bree, do you have any kind of final thoughts or any piece of advice that you want to leave us with this March Madness going on? Or if anybody has any other questions or anything they want to hear from Bree?
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, they can totally ask it. But I'll kind of share with you this other aha moment I had. And I haven't even shared this with our team page yet, because I just have been kind of sitting on it, thinking about it. And we had a Zoom today with Ryan from Children's Cup. And I said it to him, and then I told James, I didn't even tell you how, that I was feeling about this. But I just been thinking about it. But we were at the Carrie Job concert last night, and so we got there early. We had the deluxe package so that we were there for a Q&A. So her husband and her came out, and the crowd got to ask questions, and they could answer them. And so somebody stood up, and she said, how do you go about your life and have everything on social media? And I thought, okay, this could be interesting because my life is social media. And so she started to talk, and she said, we still live our lives, right? Because they have to. They have a little boy. And basically what she was saying is that Facebook is your highlight reel. And she didn't say the words highlight reel, but that's instantly what came to mind, because we've all heard this, especially in this industry, right? We want to stay positive. We want to stay in front of people, be inspirational. But what she was saying is that you need to make sure that that is what you are, and that it's okay if that is what your Facebook is. And I think a lot of times we kind of beat ourselves up because somebody on social media might post something negative about It Works, or negative about direct sales or MLMs, or, I'm in so many mom groups that I see that frequently. And I see, the post about all these girls keep adding me as friends, and then I just have to delete them and block them because they're part of a company. And you have to remember that you're not missing out from that. They are missing out from that, because that is their opinion Yeah. And it truly doesn't matter. I see her head over there shaking. Yes. I'm like, yes. But so what she said is that, for her, she said, we have been chosen as a steward of influence. And that is what we do, right? Like, they can't control that they were chosen to be a steward of influence. And so that's the direction that they go in. That's what they use their social media for. That's what they travel for. That's what they sing about, right? Like, they have this purpose that they are moving forward in. And for me, I was like, wow, like I could apply that to my own business. I could apply it to my life. I could apply it to my connection with Children's Cup. But when you're a steward of influence, it's your job, right, to be in front of people and to show them a different way. And, I was telling James, like, I don't, if you're religious or not, but you can go to those concerts sometimes and there might be the people standing out there with like a sign, right, that could say Jesus isn't real or something. But what are they going to say to that? Are they going to hold their heads down and say, oh my God, I'm just not going to post about it today, or I'm not going to share this word because that hurt my feelings? No way. So how is our business any different? We know exactly what this business can do for lives because we've seen it in so many people's lives, right? And we follow Mark and Cindy in this incredible opportunity. So who are we to minimize ourselves in this opportunity? Even if you're at a place in your business where you haven't experienced that amazing sauce that can happen in this business, who are you to decide that somebody doesn't need that? So I think if we all kind of think about it that way, we are a steward of influence. And so it's our job every day to put what we know and love on our social media accounts. Or when we're out and about talking to people, it's our job to be who we are and share what we love. And for us, it's this business, right? It's the products, it's the business and the opportunity and what it can do for you and your kids. And it's our job. So don't think that other people's opinions are going to shatter your dreams in your life, because you can't let it. You have to just keep going and move forward. And that was just such a big aha moment for me. And I just thought, I really need to ramp it up, because obviously I've been doing this for 5 years and there's streaks where I'm just on it. And my social media is like, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, yes, that was so good. I read my post and I make myself cry. And the next day I go reread it again because it was so good. And then, through seasons, and there's kind of been this wave of all these mommy groups where they're not very nice to us. And I start to kind of even shrink in my own shell. Even me, somebody that makes the income that I do, that is a full-time stay-at-home family. Like, we're a full-time stay-at-home family. My husband doesn't report to a job. I don't either. And all of our bills are paid for every month. But I still sometimes think back and think, oh my gosh, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't send them friend requests, or maybe I shouldn't post about what I love anymore because they think it's not right. But who cares? It's not up to them to decide, and it's not up to me to decide, because I was chosen to take this path and to speak about what I love and I believe in, and I was chosen to be a part of it work. So if there's anything that you guys can do and take away from tonight, I think that is taking away that you believe in yourself. Don't give up on yourself, because you were chosen to do this, not just because you chose to do it, but there was a reason that you were brought into this. And so you guys need to fulfill that and keep moving forward no matter what comes at you, because you're going to make it through it and you're going to get to the top.
Oh my gosh. I think we could just end on that. That was so good. I love that. I love that. This is going to be embedded in my brain. Quit sinking back. Because even I do that. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, no, they don't need to hear that. And oh, no. And you know what I mean? And I do that. I'm so guilty of that sometimes. And even I think the same thing. I'm like, oh, why do I do that? Why? Gosh, that was so good. So there's 2 questions really quick. One of them is from Terry. And she says, how do you get people off the fence to be distributors? How do you get through their excuses that they have?
I build friendships. And so, even if I'm talking to a potential through social media or whatever it is, if they say, hey, I want to join your team, I don't respond with, okay, this is my website, click join, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. I respond with a question about them, not even necessarily right away why they want to join the business, but how old are your kids? I'll go look at their page first. Ask them questions so that you're right off the bat getting to know them, because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to follow up in the future. Even if you're still talking to them 8 months later and they haven't joined, you're still going to have all this backlog of building a friendship and staying in front of them the right way, not just the spammy way. And I still, like months and months, even years later, I still am signing people because I've kept that relationship open, and I'm still interacting with them. I never want to think that that I need to force somebody to be a distributor, or if they're not ready, sure, you feel bummed out. I have it happen to me all the time. I just had a girl finally join my business. She was so excited. She told me, we went and had coffee together, and she said, I can't even sleep at night. Like, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I just need to be a part of this. And I was like, oh, like goosebumps all over my body. I'm so excited for you. I knew she was going to be a rock star. A couple weeks in, and she shut everything off. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, what's happening right now? What did I do wrong? What like, did I make you mad? And we were friends even, but you can't force somebody to do this business, and you don't want to push somebody either into the business, because then they're probably not going to perform the way that you're wanting to run with them anyway. It's in their own time. So build friendships. Obviously in that case, we were friends, and I haven't given up on her. I'm like, I know she's going to come back, because she's the one that came to me and told me that she felt like she was missing out of this. She wasn't a part of it, and so I'm not turning away from her either. I'm going to continue being her friend and staying in front of her and being present, just like I would a potential, even though she's already on my team, and just keep moving forward.
And she's probably still watching you too. They're always watching, even when we don't think it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the last one is, being so new, it can feel overwhelming, especially with the large goals that I want to reach. I'm curious, do you set mini goals to reach your goals without getting overwhelmed, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, taking it step by step, getting out your steps to success sheet, or the Go March game plan. I love this sheet. It's super beneficial because it has your steps to success on it and what's your why. And then a Ruby sheet, like for me, I went ambassador almost a year ago, and I got to open my 2.0 spot. So I launched Brianna 2.0, and I was like, yeah, like this is so awesome. And it hasn't even hit executive yet. Truthfully, it hasn't, and I've been putting people in there, and more people, and more people, and more people, and it still hasn't come to life, but I haven't given up on it. And just today when we sat down to do our Zoom with Ryan, James said, babe, look at you. You've got a Ruby chart out. And I was like, yes, I do. And this is for my 2.0 chart. And of course I would love for my 2.0 to go diamond or above, because I see all these other ambassadors and they're doing that, and they're going to be getting these go fast bonuses, but I'm taking it one step at a time, and I have my Ruby chart out and I'm filling it in. And that's the best thing you can do, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Of course, you come in and you have this vision and this goal of what you want to be, but you guys, you can't get to diamond without 3 rubies, right? So you need to make sure that you know how to build a ruby before you take it to the next level, and so on and so on. And it's just not going to overwhelm you, especially if you're a visual person. You're looking at that every single day. And for me, I am a visual person, and so I have my chart, and then on the back of my chart, I'll write out the names of all my potentials, and then I have an idea of where I want them to go, and I'm visualizing it, because even though it's not there right now, I'm visualizing that ruby. And then once that ruby is filled in structure-wise, not necessarily complete, but structure-wise, then I can move on to the next chart and start filling in those next names. But take it step by step, or you're going to overwhelm yourself. And chances are that if you were to pull out like a diamond chart and you're a brand new distributor, you're excited about that because you kind of have an idea of what that is, but you're probably going to pull that out when you have a potential too, and be like, you can get this bonus, and this is a diamond chart, and don't worry, it's only like 25 people, but we're going to do it together. And they're still going to be like, what are you talking about? But like an executive chart or a Ruby chart, you can really spell it out to them and say, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take it step by step. So if you go step by step, you're going to take your team step by step, and it's going to all flow together. Your goal is still your goal, and don't forget about that. Maybe hang that one on your wall or something, but start with your smaller charts and a pencil, because you're going to need to erase too.
I love that. Simple yet duplicatable.
Yes.
I learned that the hard way too.
Yeah.
Some people out here know that were with me in 2013. I had like, no joke, Brie, like 4 bags going into parties. I had like every tablecloth, every product, everything. And I'm like, I don't even know why people would have joined me in 2013 because it was not fun. And now I'm like, okay, all you need is a product pamphlet and a party map.
Yeah.
I love it. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Brie. I appreciate you more than you know saying yes and doing this because I know, like you said, we kind of just winged it and got the questions last minute and did it. And I think it filled more people's cups than you think. So
good.
So much. Any last words or final thoughts, Brie?
I think I'm good. I mean, I'm ready to go do my follow-ups right now, get a post in. I'm already in my pajamas, but you don't know that because you can only see me from up here. So, yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brie. Guys, she did record this, so we will get it posted in our team page under the files tab here shortly. But thank you again, guys, for plugging in. Thank you, Brie, so much. And I hope everybody has a great Sunday night. Bye, guys.
Thank you.